Namaste and welcome to my little evening information class on my Dao Yin yoga and Qigong teacher training. So if you don't know me, welcome here. My name's Alex, and in the past I was called Anemone, which is my third name. So sometimes you will see testimonials with that name and it's still me. You will see old videos on YouTube where I'm teaching Dao Yin yoga and it is still me. So welcome, welcome, welcome here. There's some that are live, there's some are watching on replay, but no matter where you're watching, thank you for being here. So today I want to do an untraditional informational class about Dao Yin Yoga and the teacher training that I'm hosting this year in a beautiful space here in Copenhagen. It's like kind of a luxury hotel where they have like a indoor jungle kind of situation, and it's like a beautiful place where there's also a gym and a nice cafe, and I'm really happy about the place. But what I wanted to say today, and it's a little untraditional way to tell the story, but I kind of like it in this way. Welcome, welcome here. So my name's Alex, like I said, and I've been teaching Dao Yin Yoga for more than 10 years. It's really amazing to be able to say that and to have come this far. I never actually thought it was possible. um, and so, yeah, I want to tell you why I've been doing that. And I know that the right people will hear this story, and maybe it's for you, maybe it's for a friend that you know they need this, or maybe it's for a loved one. Um, so, yeah, today I'm 35 years old. And when I found this particularly yoga style, I was very sick. So was I? Yeah, I was 25 years old, maybe 24. No, maybe younger. So in my 20s. And I was suffering from something called fibromyalgia. I was having a lot of chronic pain, and then I had chronic inflammation, they said, from the mouth to the end. So, like, the whole digestive tract was just totally inflamed. And I got a lot of diagnosis, but nothing was really helping. And in the past, I had been on the elite sports team of kayaking, like on the water. And so I was used to moving my body, and I was kind of like looking for something to do. And then my cousin told me in a birthday. So this is actually really funny. I was on my own birthday, and my grandmother was walking faster than me. And then my cousin was like, okay, you're so young. I remember because I was just 20. And she told me, you're so young. You shouldn't have all this pain. You should try yoga. And at that time, I didn't really believe in yoga. I was like, yoga, but it's not weights. I wanted to just lift something heavy. But I tried it out anyway. So I decided I'm going to try that yoga thing. Because when you have chronic pain all over your body, you want to do anything you can to get free of pain. The same goes for inflammation or sickness in the body. You want to do anything possible to get free of that sickness, right? So that's what I did. I went to a yoga class, and that was the first time in a very long time that I actually felt better. And then I knew there's something that makes me feel better, meaning it's not chronic, even though that's what the doctors are saying to me. So actually, I decided myself, I don't want those diagnoses. I don't need them. I don't want those pills. I don't need them. I only took painkillers when it was really bad after this experience. And I stopped slowly to do all the extra things and all the thousands and thousands of money I was spending on treatments. And then I put all my effort into yoga. And after a few years, I started to feel better. I think after 2 or 3 years, I started to actually be able to move freely and not have pain. And my background is occupational therapy. So I was a therapist already, almost, studying to become one. I think I finished my education when I was 22, so I was quite young. But I was studying to be an occupational therapist. I started to work as a therapist, so I had a lot of knowledge about the body. And so I decided, okay, I can use all this knowledge to figure out how this actually helped me. Like, how did this yoga actually heal me? How did it actually start to change me? And then I went on a whole journey to become a teacher. So I went on this journey to become a teacher, and I then became, first a hatha yoga teacher, then vinyasa yoga teacher, and then I found a really interesting teacher training, which was a teacher training on pain therapy. So I went to study in a little city outside Copenhagen where I think we were 15 people studying pain therapy. We were studying with one of the lead scientists from Australia. And this scientist, he was teaching us about what pain actually is. And we were sitting there, and even though I was doing all this yoga, right, I still had pain, but it was just not controlling my life anymore. While I was sitting there and I was watching this man explain to me how the brain works, how the nervous system works, how nociception works, all these really, really nerdy things about the nervous system. After that first day listening to how pain works, which is called explain pain therapy, I went home without pain for the first time in my life. At the time, I would always be doing like a morning yoga class and an evening yoga class. And I remember when I did my movements in the evening yoga class, I could all of a sudden move much longer than normal. I had no pain. I could do all the poses. And no one had adjusted me. No one had pushed me. I didn't do anything. I didn't take any magical pills or anything. The thing that had happened was my brain understood what pain is, and because it understood the process of what was going on, it then helped me to not have pain. The brain is a genius and lazy at the same time. It's really interesting when you go into it. Like the scientist, he says, some groovy stuff happens. And I really love him. His name is Mosley. I can send you a link if you're interested. Anyway, I then was 100% pain-free. I had all my yoga certificates. I was a therapist, and I had another training that I was taking, which was I was studying sociology. And I was like, I think I need something. And so then I went on my 5th yoga teacher training. So at the time, what I was focusing on was mainly yin yoga. And so I went to teacher training in yin yoga when I was 25. And this was the last yin yoga teacher training I went on because it was the 5th one. So I kind of understood it by then. But I went 5 times. 1 time in Denmark and then 4 times to Singapore to learn and really deepen my practice in yin yoga. And this time when I was on the mat and I was really doing it, moving the breath, doing the practice, we did so many, something called tuk toe, which was really hardcore. But as I was there, I was understanding, hi, hello, hello. As I was there, I was understanding who I truly was. I had a spiritual awakening. And my inner calling was so strong. It was saying, this is your path. Sharing this yoga is your path. This is why you had pain. It was to lead you away from the mundane path that you were going on, and then lead you into a path of harmony, which is what we in Taoism call the Tao. And so in that moment, I understood I can't go back to society and get my PhD, which was what I was going to do. I wanted to write a PhD about yoga and how it could help society. But instead, I decided to choose yoga for myself. And so I wrote a letter after that class to the scientist, and I said to her, I'm sorry, I'm not going to write the PhD. You're going to have to find someone else. And luckily, they could easily find someone else. And then shortly when I came back, I ended my job as a therapist. I finished my studies as a sociologist. I then left my current boyfriend. I left my home, and I moved to the countryside of Denmark in the middle of nowhere. I started to practice yoga really hardcore every day. And I started my own, totally my own yoga classes completely in my own way. And in my first class, I had more than 100. In my first class, I had 125 people come there. I've had many, many yoga classes in Copenhagen. Like, I think I was having 4 or 5 yoga classes per week in Copenhagen. So I was used to teaching, but not 125 people at a time. And it was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. It was more easy than anything I've ever done. I was so comfortable. It was not a challenge. It was fun. And I was like, what? It was so much fun and everyone enjoyed it. And I even had a microphone and everything because there were so many people. It was easy for me. So shortly after that, everything evolved. I started to have regular classes in that little town where I moved to. And then I started to have clients in pain therapy, and all of them got pain-free within 1 or 2 sessions. They didn't even need the 6th session. So then I started to only have 3 sessions for people with pain, because I only needed to see them 3 times and then they were pain-free. And in my classes, people started to be pain-free. But then something else also happened that I wasn't aware about, because like you just heard in short, my story in the beginning was heal pain, heal the body. But I didn't have the capacity to even comprehend the level of spiritual connection that I had. I didn't know I was special at the time. I thought everyone talked to spirit when they do yoga. I thought everyone could see chakras. I didn't think it was special. I thought it was normal because, as I told you, I didn't have any past experience with yoga. So I kind of just had this kind of feeling that everyone could do that. I didn't know what is a sensitive empath and all of this. I had no idea. I was just me. So mystical things started happening in those classes. People telling me about angels coming to them and saving them and removing their pain forever. And they became free of an illness that they had been carrying and carrying. People telling me about green lights coming into their body, removing their pain, and then all of a sudden, all the pain was gone. People having experiences of like purple lights coming in, and they felt everything freed them, and people just crying a lot in the classes. And I was like, what is happening? And people loved it, and they came back, and they came back, and they told their friend, and they told their friend, and they told their friend. And I was just so loving it. I loved every moment of it. I was also suffering a lot. I was going through a very big spiritual awakening at the same time. So I was going through all of this. And then one of my students, she started to ask me, can you please teach me? Be my teacher. And we have this saying in spirituality, the student arrives when the teacher is ready. But I didn't feel specifically ready, but the universe was like, she's ready, it's now. And then I said, no, go to Singapore, where I learned it. And she was like, no, I want to learn from you, you're my teacher. And I went home and I started to chant and I started to meditate, and I was like, okay, universe, what's happening? And then another one came and another one came. And then in the end, there was 5 women and they all wanted to learn. And I thought, okay, I'll teach them. And all of a sudden we were 10, and it was magical. We had so much fun. And I teach them everything I knew. And from that was birthed the Dao Yin yoga teacher training. So I had then 3 teacher trainings and my regular classes before my big spiritual awakening. And after that awakening, I knew I had to do something because I had so much open connection. I needed to learn how to hold it. So I went to China and I met my master. And that's where everything changed for me. So before I met him, it was not called Dao Yin yoga. It was just called Yin yoga, right? But he helped me. He helped me to find my destiny and my path in my life. And figure out who I am and why I came here, and how to put together Qigong with the movements that I had already learned, and how to do different kind of breathing techniques together with the Qigong, so that especially women and people that have pain, they could heal. And this man, he changed my life forever. And he is with me in spirit every day. If you have a master, you know what I'm talking about. And so when I'm doing a teacher training, you are not just learning from someone who read a lot in books and took a lot of teacher trainings. That's not what I do. Yet I did learn a lot from books, and I did practice a lot, and I did study, and I did went through so many courses in anatomy, and I know all those things. Yes, and you will learn about pain and anatomy, all those things. But what you will really learn is the embodiment of Taoism. And you will not just learn from me, you will learn from the transmission of my master. And I just talked to my client, she's just texting me now, it's so funny, about some of the things that we learned I can't find online. You will never be able to find online what I'm teaching. You can only learn it from me or other students of my master. Because this is something that is passed on to those who are in the lineage. So if you are feeling the connection with what I do, it's not just some weird coincidence. People that are supposed to meet will eventually meet. I knew from the moment I saw the picture and I heard the voice of my master that he was my master. My students, they knew she is my teacher. When she speaks, the way she speaks, the way she teaches, I understand it. They knew. I knew. I went 4 times to Singapore because I knew this is the man that's going to get me through this pain. So when you know, you know. Your ego may not like it. And a lot of people ask me, how did you get so far? How did you get to where you are? Listen, I went through the flames and I do it again and again and again, and I continue to do it. Meaning I go through my fears. That's how I get through it. That's how I heal myself. And I'm sitting here in front of you as a healed person. I healed endometriosis, fibromyalgia, IBS, stuff that you're not supposed to heal. And I didn't heal it with diet. I healed it with Qigong and Dao Yin yoga. And not just that, all those autoimmune problems, they don't come from your life. They come from karma. They come from problems or in your family or from trauma that have been passed on or that you survived. And those are the things that you remove by doing these practices, because Dao Yin means moving the qi. That's what it means. Dao means connect with spirit, the highest self. Dao Yin means moving the qi, and Dao Yin yoga means doing that in yoga poses. So that's what we do. We move the qi, we stretch it, we open, we detox, we move it with the breath, and we clean up the body. We clean up the body of this life and past lives. And we create the space so that we are connected with the Tao. And in a teacher training with me, everything is built from the 5 elements, which is your 5 organs. And so this specific teacher training is an amazing teacher training. It's already like on a very much higher level than any other teacher training I've ever had. The anatomy is next level. The pain therapy is next level. There's going to be weekends only for that, separated so that you can really dive into it. And I've added a weekend of healing with Akashic records and energy, and how you can be a channel and a healer in a yoga class, and also add healing to your yoga class, which is what happened to me naturally. And I might as well teach you because I know who I attract. You are small channels, all of you. So you're gonna learn, and there's space and time to learn. I've added a team to my training this year. So I have someone to support your emotions, one to support the structure, one to teach you the Qigong, who've been there several times, who's mastered the Qigong together with me. So it's not just me anymore. We are a whole group now in Denmark, and it's amazing. And it's the first time I'm doing it in English. So the next teacher training, I feel it's like my destined training. It's a new beginning. And if you're feeling it, it's because you want to go into that 5D frequency. You want to like uplift yourself, and you want to clear out the old 3D and 4D reality. Even if you've been with me many times, you want to join this training. because it is next level and it's going to be magical in ways that, you know, it's magic. So we will only know if we're there. There are 16 spots and there are already 5 taken. And it's going fast, and I'm going to try my best to get the right people to meet each other and to get the best group as possible. The prices are going to go up on the 1st of October, and I'm not going to lower them again. I've changed. So if you want to join me, it's September. After September, the prices will go up, and it's a lot that is going up. So right now it's early bird, and then from October it's the normal price until we start, and we're going to start in February. And so if you're Danish, I do understand maybe you don't like to read English. So it will be possible to get our new manual in Danish as well. And this manual is almost 200 pages already. And I've not added pictures. And in this manual, there's going to be all the structures of all the classes. There's going to be like, yeah, everything you need to build your class, how to manage each element, pictures of the Qigong, everything. We've never had this before, because every time I went on a teacher training, we never had a manual. So we learned by doing. In the temple, we don't have manual, you learn by doing. But after doing it for 10 years, I see that some of you really need a manual. So I've created one. And we've put it together also based on a lot of evidence-based science that I found throughout the years about Dao Yin yoga and Qigong and how it heals, especially inflammation. So it's not just something I'm saying, it's proven knowledge today. But you know, the Dao Yin yoga is like more than 2,500 years old. So the Taoist masters, they knew they didn't need any proof. They just saw the effect of what they were doing. So yeah, this teacher training, it will not just heal your body, which it will, but it will kind of align you with your true self in each organ. And there will be the time and space for you to really go deep into understanding what it is that we do. Mostly you do a training for yourself. So whenever I sign up for a training, it's not for you guys, I'm sorry, but it's for me, right? But then if the profound things that I find, I add that to what I already do and I share it with you. And I want to say that also to you who are joining the training and who are considering joining the training, like this is for your transformation, because that's what I do. And so from that transformation, your inner teacher might come or might not come. That is only up to you and your destiny. And I really do believe that if you are here, your higher self has told you, you need this. Like it's never a coincidence when someone finds me. I've done it for 10 years now, and it's never been a coincidence, right? It's always been divine orchestrated to completion and down to the last detail. So I actually don't want to say anything else about my training. You can read a lot of the details on everything that's in the material on the portal. So you can get the link. I'll put the link on my profile. I will share the link with you all. I guess the only thing I want to say is the moment you sign up, because I know like there's maybe a long time until February. So the moment you sign up, you will be getting access to everything Dao Yin in my app. So you will be able to learn all the Qigong, all the yoga, and you will have this throughout your entire training. And then after the training, you can choose to pay it and then have it in full in your app. And you can also do that with monthly subscription, which is like €7. So yeah. And you can pay in full, you can pay deposits, totally fine. And I'm very flexible, so if there's something you need to talk about that, let me know. It's not about that. It's about your decision to transform your life. So, welcome everyone. So I guess that's what I want to say about the training. It is my dharma, really. And it's not just a method, it's an embodiment of your true self. And a lot of my students, which you can also read about on the website, are saying that it's been the most transformational thing they ever experienced. They don't even have words to experience it, and they feel it's like the path to come home in your own body. And I really do agree that that's what this practice does. And I'm super proud to be able to share it. And I'm also super humble to be able to share it still after all these years. And each day I go on my yoga mat, it changes my life every time. Every time something profound changes, because this practice, it works. It cleans it up. It gets the job done. So yeah, if you are like, what is she talking about? I would like to learn Dao Yin yoga. Just reach out to me and join our free days. So we're going to have, beginning from 5th September, we're going to have 7 days of Dao Yin yoga. It's totally free for everyone. So if you want to learn, you feel like it's something for you, you would like to heal yourself, you would like to try this specific Daoist practice, hit me up, join us. It's totally free. Everyone can join. In the course, there are both Qigong classes, Dao Yin yoga classes, and I even added some special EFT practice that I channeled together with one of my angels. So I mix it all. The evidence, the galactic stuff, the angelic stuff, the Taoist stuff, because I'm an oracle, like a portal between heaven and earth. And if that's something that matches your way, welcome. So if you have any questions, now is the time, or you're simply welcome to reach out to me, and then I will gladly answer any questions you might have. So yeah, I will be sharing the link. Do reach out to me if you would like to have the link. Then I will share to you the link and you can see all the prices, all the dates. One important detail about the dates are that I always record everything I do for the people in the training. So it doesn't go on my app. It goes on a special portal for only people that are doing the teacher training. And so let's say that you're not there, you might miss some of the outdoor classes because it can be raining or it can be difficult to record when we are outside. But anything we do inside, we'll be recording that. So if you're sick or you have practical things getting in the way, which is life, we will be recording it. Let's say you're not Danish, you don't live in Denmark, and you would love to join. So we're hosting the teacher training in a hotel. That's also a very important detail. So you can come and you can stay in this pretty awesome hotel that I live next to, and I'm basically there every damn day. And you can stay there. They have nice breakfast, and yeah, that's also really cool. Okay, thank you for staying here on a normal Wednesday evening where the energies are weird and we're now in the September change and so much happening. So thank you for being here and listening to my story, and everyone that follows along what I do. Thank you so much. It's really amazing. So Med is asking, how are your students doing after when they're done with exams? So my students are doing really great. It's really amazing, both because they are healing their diseases. So they are pain-free, they have no headaches, no migraines, no stomach problems, no endometriosis. So they are healed. People who leave from my teacher training healed. That's one thing that I'm really proud of. And we've seen that again and again and again in each training. It happens typically after the second weekend, people are healed. But then they also heal their trauma. And then in the last part of the training, what happens is their divine destiny is shown to them, and they find what I call their path, their specific path. And so they start to have faith. And they go after that their separate ways. Sometimes the groups stay together because they become so good friends that they are still like interconnected, but they start to do their own thing. I had one student who couldn't walk when she started, and today she's back full-time. She was on pension. She's back full-time as a sound healer. I have another one who could only stand up for 10 minutes. She had 4 surgeries in her stomach before she met me, and today she's a personal trainer. She works full-time. She teaches yoga as well. Yeah, and a lot of people are using the yoga or as an addition to the yoga that they already have, or they are just full in teaching yoga. And most of, like, not a lot of teaching only the Qigong because Qigong is still a little new. So what we do is we mix. I teach you how to mix the Qigong in your classes. And that's really popular, both here in Denmark, but also internationally. I have students. I have some students in, in Germany. She's actually doing really well. And I have a student also in Norway who's also doing really well. Yeah, so most of them are teaching themselves and are doing well. We do have some, I think it's like 50% are teachers, 50% are there for themselves. I would say like this. And it's funny, it's mostly the people that came for themselves that end up becoming teachers. It's mostly like that. We even have a student who came after cancer, and she just came to heal herself because she's had cancer and she wanted to do something good for herself, and she became a teacher for women with cancer. We've had so many. We actually have also a really good teacher in Jylland who's quite famous, has lots of students and clients in Qigong. She's really brought Qigong to Denmark. She's been in the television and all kind of stuff. So we have all kind of different kind of people joining us, and everyone heals themselves. That's just what I want to. But then some, they take it to the next level and share with more than just family and friends. But for sure, there are a lot that are teaching. So Lene is asking, how big is the Qigong part of the teacher training? So I want to say it's kind of 40%, maybe 50% of the teacher training. Yeah. So you can't really say and or, but I can say, actually I didn't write that on the website this year, but so each day is always organized kind of in the same similar way. So the way that I do it is we start each day with morning Qigong for 1.5 hours. Then we have a break, then we have theory class, and then we have yoga class for 1.5 hours. Then we have theory class. So each day you would have equal amount of Qigong, equal amount of Dao Yin yoga. And then about the theory, because Dao Yin yoga is much more complex when it comes to theory, like there are much more things that people can't do and fascia and all this kind of stuff. So that kind of takes up a lot of space. But then when it comes to the more spiritual aspect and the more alchemy aspect, then we go much deeper into the Qigong. So you can't really separate the two. But when we think about more about the body and those kind of things, then there is a separation between, for example, anatomy. But for example, everything with the internal energy of the meridians, the dantians, the chakras, this is all the same if you're doing Qigong or Dao Yin yoga. So yeah, I would say maybe it's 50-50, maybe because of the fascia studies this year, then the Dao Yin yoga takes up a little bit more space because we're going to go deep into adjustments and how to really make sure that we're really helping people to up-level their functionality and their mobility on the body. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so with cancer, what I normally say is it will make sure you don't get so many side effects. It will help your body heal faster during the treatment and after the treatment. And we've seen that in really a lot of people, that the cellular, because so Qigong works on a cellular level. And that's what I mean when I'm saying to Lene that the inner alchemy of Qigong is so interesting, like what happens in our Qi and what a cell is. And we're going to go into all of that. Like the Qigong theory goes all the way into something called mitochondria. And we're going to understand what emptiness is, and that it actually is so connected with the microorganisms inside of you. And then that is then connected with the macroorganism outside of you. And so Daoists believe that when you change the inside, so you also change the outside, right? And we're always connected with nature. So when you then practice this specific Qigong that we are doing, which is the main purpose of the Qigong that I teach, is to prolong your life. It's called longevity. So when you do that, you get more energy, you heal the core of the problem. So that's the same like a cancer treatment, right? So what you do is you help your body to get more chi to heal itself. And what I've seen with everyone that I've helped through cancer is that when you combine that with Qigong and Dao Yin Yoga detoxes all the stuff that you get that you don't need. And with the Qigong, you gain more energy, more life force into the cells so that you can build new cells, which is what you need. Yeah. But yeah, we've seen some miracles with that. That's all I can say about that. So I really always recommend if someone has, any kind of that severe situation to focus on the Qigong if they can stand up. Yeah. So for sure, we go more into the micro perspective because it is a yoga training. It is not a sociology training. Yeah. Yeah. So what I said is, yeah, for sure. But we are for sure more focused on the inside than maybe on the outside. But just to understand that we are connected with each frequency. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I wish you all a beautiful evening. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I will be sharing the link. And I wish you all a beautiful evening. Namaste.